Follow along as I take my 1984 Ramcharger to the next stage with coilovers, a doubler, and it's going to be stretched a few inches. Stay tuned. There she is, 203, 205 doubler, mostly ready to go. I went ahead, did the shift rails. I didn't film it or anything, but I got the shift rails in. That was pretty easy to do following the instructions. JB Fabrication also has a good video online on how to do it without, dropping your shift forks. And so kind of once you get the hang of it, it's, a piece of cake to pull out your old shift rails and then put the modified ones in. This 205 was already in good shape, so I really didn't have to do much other than I put new yokes on, 1410s front and rear, new seals. On this side I have the this little speedometer cover, got that from eBay. So since I'm not using a Ford speedometer in a Dodge truck, probably a GPS unit, I don't need it. So this is pretty good. I might throw a rough coat of paint on it, nothing crazy before I go in with it here in a couple days, and then get the shifters all set up and the rear crossmember all set up, all that stuff. But this is just kind of sitting here ready to go for now. The next thing I'm kind of looking at is I'm going to start, and again, I just kind of playing around here, but I'm going to start working on this Super Duty. So what I did now, they had some fluid in there. I had this stripped down a while ago, but it still had a ton of fluid in here. So I just pulled the cover off and suctioned out some of the old gear lube so I didn't make a mess. I was kind of hoping I was gonna be able to drive this this little roll pin out so I can get this cross pin, because you can see here that this gear set, being the factory gear set, is shallow enough that you don't need to remove the ring gear. However, I don't think I can do that while it's in here, so I'll probably have to do it on the bench like I have always before. So I'll have to pull this carrier out, drive the roll pin out, then I can get the cross pin out, because yeah, it's a little bit, I can't get a good angle to get the hammer that out. Otherwise that'd be really easy to get the Spartan in here. So, but I could show you what I was doing with this dial indicator. I just have a cheap dial indicator here, and I was getting an idea of how much slack there is on the as far as the backlash on the factory setup here. And the best way to do this, and again, it's, let's see, whoops, get your setup adjusted just right. Whoops. And then hold on to the yoke, and my indicator's all screwing up here. There it is. Zero this out, so this is 80. So we'll get to 0. And then you can just kind of hold the yoke and then kind of work this back and forth. So this has about 10 thousandths of an inch, which is on the high end for backlash. But as things get hotter, it gets looser, things get tighter. So I think get tighter. So I think having looser backlash is probably the way to go. I tend to try to be on the looser aspect of the range. I think, I don't have the book in front of me, but I think Dana's 60s, or at least the low pinion ones, I think they're between 6 and 10 thousandths is within spec. So this is technically within spec, just on the looser end of things. So anyways, just looking at that, I don't intend to change the gear set, even though I did buy a 538 gear set if I wanted to match the rear, but I'm still anticipating potential engine change in the Ramcharger. So with the doubler, I actually might try to make the 410s work. So that means I'll just have to re-gear the back, which it's a 14 bolt. It's rather easy. Switch that to 410. So, but anyways, I got to pull this carrier out to pull out the spider gears, and I'm going to throw in a Spartan locker and throw this back in there and call it good. That's it for this video. Stay tuned for the next one in the series. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.